Hello everyone, I am Rajat and today we will discuss about Git. So in this entire video we will look what is Git, what is version control system, different types of version control system, what is the internal architecture and data structure of the Git, and we will also look into the most common terminology which is generally used in the Git, and at the end we will look what are the major features of the Git because of this Git is quite popular. So if you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe it. I will be adding more informative videos for you. So let's get started. Now the next question is what is Git? So basically the Git is an open source distributed version control system. It was created by the Linus Torvalds. He is the creator of Linux as well as Git. Now the next question is what is version control system? As the name specified that version control system is a system which tracks changes on a set of files. So if you work on a project, so it contains some set of files which is being tracked. So this is being tracked by the version control system. Now according to the architecture we can divide a version control system into three types. One is local version control system, another is centralized version control system, and third one is a distributed version control system. So there are some major advantages of a version control system. So the major advantage of the version control system is with the help of the version control system, you can track who changed it, what he changed it, and when he changed it. As well as you can recover your code for the specific version, and you can compare your one code difference with another another code difference. So this is the major advantage of the version control system. Now let's look into the architecture of each types of the version control system. One is local version control system. So in the case of the local version control system, all changes are tracked manually on your local system. So in the case of the local version control system, you can lose your tracking as well as you can lose your data because of the hard disk failure or system failure. So that's why nobody use local version control system. Now there is another kind of version control system. So that version control system is centralized version control system. In the centralized version control system we have one main server and your local system. Now for tracking of the project, or we can say tracking of all the changes, each request goes to your central server, and central server have a database where it maintains your tracking related information. So this is the centralized version control system. But one of the major disadvantages of centralized version control system is in the case of hard disk failure or any system failure, if their data is lost on the central server, then it is not easy to recover the data from in the case of the centralized version control system. So in order to remove these drawbacks, distributed version control system was introduced. So in the case of the distributed version control system, it works on peer-to-peer model. Here we have two kinds of repository. One repository which exists on your remote server, and another repository which exists on your local server. Now local repository and remote repository both communicates with each other by push and pull method. So when they want to push data, when they want to push data from local repository to remote repository, and when they want to get data from local repository from remote server to local repository, they can get it easily. So this is about the distributed version control system. In the case of the distributed version control system, also we can track your changes locally as well as on your remote server. So for each and every operation, we do not need to make connection with the remote server in the case of distributed version control system. And if your data is lost, then you can easily recover your data from a remote server. So this is the main descriptions about distributed version control system. Now let's go into the internal architecture of the Git. So we will look what is the internal architecture and data structure of the Git. The major terms which are generally used in Git are repository, commit, tag, workspace, local repository, remote repository, and branches. So these are the common terms which are generally used in Git. So the repository is basically a database which have all the informations about your changes. So this repository is one of the main components which have informations about your commit, tag and branches. So it have all the informations about your revisions and history. So by the help of these, repository tracks your changes. Now commit is basically saving your changes to the persistent or committed state. So commit is basically your metadata which have all the informations about a particular changes. Now when we specify a human readable name for a particular commit, so it is tag. So tag is basically a human readable name for a particular commit. Now workspace is basically a directory which is being tracked by your version control system. So in workspace there can be two types of files can be present. One is tracked file system and another is untracked file system. The files which is being tracked by your version control system is known as tracked files, and the files which is not being tracked by your version control system is known as untracked file. Now the repository can exist on your local machine and on your remote machines. So the repository which exists on your remote machine is known as a remote repository, and the repository which exists on your local machine is known as local repository. So the local repository and remote repository communicates with each other by the remote tracking reference. Now there is one thing. So this is a branch. So branch is basically a divergence from your main stream, or we can say branch is just a pointer or head which is pointing to a particular commit, or branch is basically a clone of your main stream. So this is the major terms which are generally used in Git. Now the main architecture of the Git. So we can understand the architecture of the Git is like this. We have local repository and we have we have a remote repository and we have local repository. There is one branch in remote repository and there is one branch in local repository. These two branches communicates with each other by remote tracking reference. So the remote tracking reference specify that which branch on my local repository communicates with to which branch on your remote repository. So this is the main function of remote tracking reference. Now let's look into the local repository. So look, in local repository we have another three layer. One is workspace, another is test, or we can say index, and another is our local repository. So the workspace is the area where your project exists. So it contains your tracked file and untracked file. When tracked file is modified and added into the Git, so it goes into the staged state. Now in the staged state we specify that what are the changes that need to be committed. Now when we commit those changes, so it goes from your staged state to committed state, or we can say it goes into your local repository, and from this local repository we can push to the remote repository. So this is the basic workflow of Git architecture. Now, so local repository can push data to the remote repository, and local repository can get data from the remote repository. Also, we need to also look into the three states of files which is in Git. So in Git, generally a file goes from three states. When it exists on your workspace, and when we modify that file, so it goes into the modified state. Now when we add git file into into state. When we add git that modified file in git, so it goes from modified state to the staged state. Now by executing git add command, now my file is a staged state. Now if I execute git commit command, so it will goes from staged or index state to the committed state. Now stage state specify that what are the changes that need to be committed. So this is the one of the main purpose of the stage state. So in this stage state we specify that what are the changes that need to be committed. We generally do not in git all the changes are not committed. So the specified committed in stage states are committed in the git. Now the internal data structure used by the Git is a tree. So there is one difference between conventional tree data structure and the tree data structure which is being used by the Git. So in the conventional tree data structure, generally what happens that parents points to child, and parents holds the reference of the child. But in the case of the Git, here child holds the reference of the pointer. I mean to say here child holds the reference of the parent, but here parent doesn't stores the reference of the child. So this is one of the major difference in the tree data structure which is being used by the Git. So initially the default branch in Git is master. Now when we add, let's say when we do commit 1, so here my branch master, or we can say head of my branch master, points to commit C1. Now if I do one more commit, so the name is commit C2. Now what will happens, my branch of now head of master branch will point to commit C2. Now commit C2 will have reference of commit C1. So at this state what happens is my branch, so head of my branch master points to commit C2 and C2 points to C1. So this is my updated state. Now if I do one more commit C3, so recap, so let's forget it. If I do create one more branch, let's say branch B1, so what happens that head of my branch B1 points to commit C2. Now if I create one more branch, let's say branch B2, so at this state my branch head of branch B2 will point to commit C2. If I add one more commit C3 in branch B1, now what will happen, my C3 commit C3 or node C3 will point to C2, and my branch head of my branch B1 will point to C3. If I add one more commit in branch B2, so what will happen, my head of branch B2 will move to C4 commit, and C4 commit will point to C2. So if I do one more commit in branch B1, right, so its name is C5. Now C5 will point to C3 and head of my branch will move to C5. If I do one more commit in branch B2, so what will happen, here head of my branch will move to commit C6. So as you can see that head of my branch B1 or B2 is moving downwards as I add more commits or more nodes. Initially, both of the heads were pointing to C2. Now they are pointing to, initially they were pointing to C3, C4, now C5, C5 and C6. So in this way, my commits are maintained. In this way, commits are structured in tree-like data structure in Git. So if you have any doubt in tree data structure in Git, please let me know. I will be adding more videos about this. So also it will, if it will be possible, that I can explain it on whiteboard. Now the major features of the Git, because of this Git is quite popular. Number one, Git is free. Since Git is an open source distributed version control system, so that's why it is free. Now another thing is local operation. In the case of the Git, all the operations happens locally on your local repository. So all trackings are happening locally. So for each operations, we do not need to make connections with the remote server. So that's why it is fast. So that's why it follows the local operation. Another is fast context switching. So as we saw earlier, so Git follows the, in branches we follows the pointer, and pointer can be pointed to easily. So there is a fast context switching. So it takes a fraction of second just to move from one branch to another branch, and creation, merging and deletion of branches are quite fast in Git. Another is data integrity. So what happens that before storing the data to the final state, Git computes the SHA-256 checksum, and when it fetches the data, and then again it computes the SHA-256 checksum, just to make sure that data is integrated states, the integrity of data is not lost. Another main feature is distributed. Since Git follows the distributed architecture, so there is not any data losses. So these are the all overview about Git. So if you have any doubts, any comment, or any recommendations about this video, kindly let me know. I will be adding more informative videos for you. So please don't forget to like and subscribe my channel. So thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Bye bye.